How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give him a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from last night, which was April 27th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Dax Harwood went over and advanced in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division with a small package. Well, after the match, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler embraced and showed respect and shared the ring together and celebrated together and everything. And then AEW aired a video package of the stare down between CM Punk and Hangman Page from last week on AEW Dynamite. And then CM Punk got on the microphone and cut a promo talking about how AEW has a big locker room and has nothing but talent, and talked about how he was wondering when he debuted for AEW if he was going to be able to do this after 7 years and of being gone and everything, and talked about how he was going to be facing Hangman Page for the AEW title at Double or Nothing, and talked about how he had a lot of respect for Hangman Page and everything, but he was gonna be in it for a fight and win the AEW title and everything as well. That was cool. That was match 1, by the way. Match 2, it was the Blackpool Combat Club, which are Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta versus The Factory, which are QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Comoroto. That was a great match, but the ending to it, match 2, it was the Blackpool Combat Club, which are Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta versus The Factory, which are QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Comoroto. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Blackpool Combat Club went over cause Wheeler Yuta pinned Nick Comoroto with the seatbelt. Match 3, it was Wardlow versus Lance Archer. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Wardlow went over with the Powerbomb Symphony. Now, before the match, as Lance Archer and Jake the Snake Roberts came out, MJF and Shawn Spears were up in the rafters, and MJF told a sex joke about women in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and then MJF was talking about how Lance Archer was going to destroy Wardlow and how Wardlow was going to come out with no entrance music again and everything, and talked about how Wardlow was a pig and how the crowd needs to shut up and everything when Wardlow comes out and everything. And then after MJF cut his promo, Wardlow came out escorted out by security in handcuffs and everything. That was cool. That was match 3, by the way. Match 4, it was Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida in a Philly street fight. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Serena Deeb went over with the Texas Cloverleaf. That was match 4, by the way. Match 5, it was the Undisputed Elite, which are Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish versus Dante Martin, the Nightmare Family, which are Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson, and the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Undisputed Elite went over cause Adam Cole pinned Lee Johnson with the boom. That was match 5, by the way. And match 6, which was the main event, it was Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara in a ladder match for the AEW TNT title. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Scorpio Sky went over and won the AEW TNT title because Scorpio Sky climbed the ladder and retrieved the AEW TNT title. Well, after the match, as the American Top Team, which are Dan Lambert, Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and Paige Van Zant, were celebrating Scorpio Sky's victory, Frankie Kazarian came out to the ring and Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky shook hands and showed respect to each other and everything. And while that was going on, Sammy Guevara was being escorted backstage and everything. That was cool. And that was match 6 in the main event, by the way. Now, besides the matches, Dan Lambert and Scorpio Sky cut a promo, and Dan Lambert was talking about how it was not a fluke or an accident that Scorpio Sky won the AEW TNT title and everything, and then talked about how Scorpio Sky was going to regain the AEW TNT title from Sammy Guevara and everything as well. And then Scorpio Sky was talking about how he's a one-time AEW Tag Team Champion, a one-time AEW TNT Champion, and was undefeated for 394 days and everything. And Scorpio Sky also talked about how he was going to regain his AEW TNT title and everything as well, and kick Sammy Guevara's ass and everything as well. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Tony Storm, and Tony Schiavone brought up about all 3 women not using physicality and everything, and Britt Baker was talking shit about Tony Storm leaving and everything, and Tony Storm was saying she wasn't going to leave and everything, and then Britt Baker was talking shit towards Tony Storm, and Tony Storm was saying, you know, Britt, since you sat there and you want to talk all kinds of shit, and you have a friend with you, well, Jamie, I'm looking forward to seeing you in the first round of the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament in the women's division. But Britt, I have a friend in me myself. And then, well, Ruby Soho came along, and Ruby Soho was saying, Britt Baker, what a coincidence. You want to set the, you know, Britt, I've noticed, you and Jamie, every time a new woman signs with AEW, you both try to push your weight around and try to run us off. Well, that's not going to work with Tony and myself. because we are ready for the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament in the women's division. And as the late great Owen Hart once said, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. And Britt Baker was, and then Ruby Soho was saying, and that change is Tony and I kicking both your asses right here, right now. Well, Jamie Hayter was wanting to fight, but Britt Baker held Jamie Hayter back, and Britt Baker was saying, Jamie, Britt Baker said, whoa, Jamie, hold back. I'm hungry, and let's go get a snack in your home of catering, Ruby, and everything. And then Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter walked off, and then Ruby Soho and Tony Storm were looking on, and Tony Storm was saying, Ruby, she was sitting there talking about me leaving, but they left. And then Ruby Soho was saying, yeah, but don't worry about it, Tony, and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Christian Cage and the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, and Tony Schiavone brought up about Jungle Boy losing to Kyle O'Reilly last week and everything, and Jungle Boy was saying, yeah, Tony, I lost last week, and I felt like a sore loser and everything. And then Christian Cage was saying, no, Jungle Boy, you didn't feel like a sore loser. You were a sore loser last week. But that's not going to happen again, because next time you're going to come out on top. But enough about that. You, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, you're gonna put the AEW tag team titles up on the line, and I'm challenging anyone from the top 5 in the rankings of the tag team division to step up and challenge Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus for the AEW tag team titles. Well, Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, came along, and Ricky Starks was saying, well, Christian Cage issuing a challenge on behalf of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. What a surprise. Now if I heard correctly, Christian, you did say that anybody in the top 5 in the tag team division, correct? Christian Cage said, yeah, that's what I said, Ricky. And Ricky Starks was saying, well, since you're issuing an open challenge to anybody, Christian, how about me and my boy Powerhouse Hobbs take on your boys of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, and you all put the AEW tag team titles on the line? And Christian Cage was saying, and then Team Taz, which are Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, walked off, and then Luchasaurus started growling, and Christian Cage and Jungle Boy, along with Luchasaurus, were looking on and everything. That was cool. The Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, came out to the ring, and Angelo Parker got on the microphone and was saying, you know, Mr. Tony Khan, the best wrestling promoter ever, is having us have a confrontation with Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. And Mr. Khan has ruled this no physicality. And then Angelo Parker started talking shit about Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, and everything. And then Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, came out, and then Chris Jericho started talking shit, and then Eddie Kingston was saying he didn't like the no physicality bullshit, and he wanted to fight Chris Jericho and everything. And then Daniel Garcia got on the microphone and was talking shit towards Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, saying that sports entertainers were better than sports entertainers were better than professional wrestlers and everything. And then and started talking shit towards Eddie Kingston and Santana and Ortiz again and everything as well. And then Chris Jericho got back on the microphone and was talking shit and everything. And then Ortiz got on the microphone talking shit towards Chris Jericho and gave him the middle finger. Then Santana got on the microphone, was talking shit towards Chris Jericho, gave him the finger. And then as Chris Jericho continued to talk more shit, Eddie Kingston got up in Chris Jericho's face and was talking shit, talking about how he was going to kick his ass and everything. And then Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, left, while the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, were in the ring looking on and everything. That was cool. Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti cut a promo, and Sammy Guevara was talking about how Scorpio Sky was a one-time AEW Tag Team Champion, which everyone forgot about. A one-time AEW TNT Champion, which was a fluke in itself. And Sammy Guevara was talking about how he had two great things in his life, which was a sexy girlfriend and Ty Conti and the AEW TNT title and everything. And then Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti started making out and everything. That was cool. Lexi Nair interviewed MJF and Sean Spears. Well, Lexi Nair brought up to MJF about remaining calm after Wardlow beat Lance Archer and everything, and then MJF called Lexi Nair a name and told her to leave. So Lexi Nair left, and Sean Spears got the microphone and held it to MJF, and MJF was saying, I've remained calm through Wardlow beating Lance Archer. But next week, Wardlow, you're going to be in another match. And it's going to be against a man that I made a phone call to. Hang on a minute. Well, MJF was on the phone, and MJF was saying, "Hey, big man, you want to make 6K next week to take down Wardlow?" And everything. And then MJF got off the phone, and MJF was saying, "Wardlow, your opponent next week, he's taller than you, and he's smarter than you, and he's going to take you out," and everything. And then, and everything. That was cool. Fuego del Sol was laid out on stage while the lights were out, and, well, the House of Black, which are Malachi, the House of Black, which are Malachi Black, Brody King and Buddy Matthews came out, and the House of Black got Fuego del Sol and were getting ready to rip his mask off, but Alex Abrahantes was backstage on the microphone talking shit towards the House of Black and how they weren't very bright and everything. And the House of Black, which are Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, got in the ring, and some guy dressed like Alex Abrahantes was in the ring, but he was cowering away and everything. And then, then Pena Oscuro and Pac came out, and then Alex Abrahantes again was then Alex Abrahantes came out and was talking more shit, and then Ray Phoenix revealed to be the guy dressed in the Alex Abrahantes gear and everything, and then and then after that, a brawl ensued between the Death Triangle, which are Pena Oscuro, then a brawl ensued between the Death Triangle, which are Pac, Pena Oscuro, and Ray Phoenix, and the House of Black, which are Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews. Well, Pena Oscuro went after Brody King, Pac went after Malachi Black, and Ray Phoenix went after Buddy Matthews. A brawl ensued between all six men, and the Death Triangle came out on top of it. And the Death Triangle, which are Pac, Pena Oscuro, Ray Phoenix, and Alex Abrahantes, stood tall in the ring, while the House of Black, which are Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, were on stage looking on and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Swerve Strickland and Darby Allin. Well, Tony Schiavone brought up that Swerve Strickland and Darby Allin were going to be facing off on AEW Rampage Friday night in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. Well, Swerve Strickland brought up that he has a lot of history with Darby Allin and how Darby Allin has grown so much since the last time they faced off. And Swerve Strickland was talking about how he was going to beat Darby Allin because whose house? Swerve's house. Well, Darby Allin was saying, you know, Swerve, you can't come into every company and claim that it's your house, because I've been in AEW since day one. So if it's anybody's house, it's mine. And on Friday, and on AEW Rampage Friday night, I'm going to beat you and I'm going to win. I'm going to advance in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament, because this is Darby's house, not Swerve's house. Well, Darby Allin left, and Swerve Strickland, along with Tony Schiavone, was looking on and everything. That was cool. The Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, ganged up on Eddie Kingston and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, and beat the shit out of them, while Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, were laid out. And so Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, and Angelo Parker were holding Eddie Kingston down, and Matt Menard had the cameramen come to the back to see it. So the cameramen came along with Matt Menard, and while Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, and Angelo Parker were holding Eddie Kingston down, Chris Jericho caught Eddie Kingston's face on fire, and then the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, retreated, and some wrestlers and security came to tend to Eddie Kingston, while Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, were tending to Eddie Kingston as well. That was cool. AEW aired a video package of... AEW aired a vignette of the build-up of the match between Samoa Joe versus Trent Beretta tomorrow night on All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage for the Ring of Honor television title. That was cool. Which that was cool, yeah. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. CM Punk done guest commentary along with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur during the match between Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. CM Punk done great on guest commentary, and William Regal done guest commentary along with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur during the match between the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Factory. William Regal done great on guest commentary. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, Stephon Smith, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. Stephon Smith refereed the match between the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Factory. Paul Turner refereed the match between Wardlow versus Lance Archer. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida in a Philly street fight. Rick Knox refereed the match between the Undisputed Elite versus Dante Martin, the Nightmare Family, and the Varsity Blondes. And Paul Turner and Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara in a ladder match for the AEW TNT title. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite next week, so far it's been announced, it's going to be Deonna Perazzo versus Mercedes Martinez for the Ring of Honor Women's title. Jeff Hardy versus Bobby Fish in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. And Wardlow versus MJF's handpicked opponent. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite next week looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. And the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night, it's going to be Samoa Joe versus Trent Beretta for the Ring of Honor television title. Swerve Strickland versus Darby Allin in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. Keith Lee versus Colton Gunn and Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan versus Sky Blue, Willow Nightingale, and Trish Adora. Those are the matches that have been announced. Now, besides the matches that have been announced, Hook and Danhausen will be having a face-to-face confrontation. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage Friday night that's been announced looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. Looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from last night, which was April 27th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.